Welcome. I'm Miss Theresa. Thanks for joining me for our DIY grass head kit craft. I will demonstrate how to make our really cool, now these guys I just made, and they still look pretty bald, but if you look real close, I made these about a week ago, and they're starting to just get the grass coming in. This is a craft, let me tell you, you're going to have to be very patient waiting for the grass to grow. It takes about a week for them to start, you'll see the little nubs start coming through the top of the head, and then it takes about 3 to 4 weeks before they're going to have a thick, full head of hair. And then you can do whatever you want. You can be creative, give them haircuts, put their hair in like a ponytail if you want, so you can be creative with that. And we'll keep you posted on how these come along. We'll be showing pictures of them on our social media. So when you pick up your bag, you're going to receive a bag, and everything's in it except a few things. You're going to need some liquid glue, not a glue stick. Liquid glue would be better. A scissors of some sort. Make sure you're being safe. And I'll show you what you're going to get inside your bag. When you bring it home, you're going to get a bag of dirt. This is potting soil, so the grass should grow very well in it. You're going to get a cup of grass seed, and you're going to get 2 other cups. You're going to get 2 empty red cups. And then you're also going to get a little bag that has all the fun stuff in it. I'm going to leave this bag. The only thing we're going to need right away in this bag, if you notice, I'm going to open it just to show you what you're going to get in your kit. You're going to get some fun things. Now these are just extras. You don't have to use all these. Notice I made glasses for this one, so I'm going to give you a pipe cleaner. You're going to get, and of course, what do you think's holding the heads together? We are using a nylon. This is a woman's knee-high stocking, and what you're going to do, we're going to cut it a little. It's got this big top, but this is something that's going to hold the whole thing together. You're going to get that. Then you're going to get a few pieces of felt. I use this for my mouth that I cut out. This is something, maybe you want to make a mustache, and notice I gave our one grass head some eyelashes. And then notice she's got a cute little collar, and I made that out of some felt. And you're going to get an extra color. Maybe you want to give someone a tie. And of course you're going to get a few buttons. In this kit, we don't know what color you're going to get. It'll be a surprise. You'll get some googly eyes. And like I said, you'll get 2 buttons at least. And you're going to get these little mini rubber bands, and you'll see what you're going to do with all of these items. So that's everything you're going to get with your craft. I will show you how to begin. I'm going to set these little decorative items to the side for now because let me tell you, this is going to get a little bit messy. We're dealing with dirt, so it's going to get a little messy. So you want to do this in an area that's okay with your mom or dad or your caregiver, and make sure it's okay. And the other thing I didn't add that we're going to need today is water. Of course, we have to water the grass, but we're going to also have to really make this dirt really moist so the grass will want to grow. So let's start.
All right,
I'm going to cut the top off the stocking. So take a scissors, you kind of have to pull it. It's a little difficult to cut. Maybe mom or dad, if you need help, have someone help you cut this. My scissors are a little sharp. There we go, because you don't need that part. So now you've got this stocking. I'm going to open it up. So I'm going like that. So it's a stocking, so I can go like that. I'm going to put this in the large cup. Now this large cup is just to help us put the dirt in. It kind of helps us hold all this. So I'm going to have this kind of where we stretched it out. See that? I'm going to put it in the bottom and put this around. So we have it pushed all the way to the bottom, like so. See that? Now, the first thing we want in there, because we want the grass to be on the top of the head, you're going to take your grass, and I gave you more than enough. This is almost probably too much. So I'm going to sprinkle that in the bottom. I think that's probably good enough. Let's pour it all in. What the heck, right? There we go. Now, next, now this might be the messy part. Be careful. Make sure you have newspapers, or better yet, if you can do this outside. We will be using water in the next step, so if you have like a hose, or if you want to do it somewhere where it doesn't matter if you get a little dirt. So I'm going to pour this in. We may not use all this dirt, but you know, you can always just throw it somewhere in your garden, what you don't use. We just wanted to make sure you had enough. We might add a little. I'm going to press it down. See, I'm pushing it down. See, I didn't even get much on my hands because it's dry right now. We're going to wet it though. So you want it, this is the key thing to this project, is you have to keep this moist. And I'm going to show you later how we're going to do that. Because you want your grass not to, the little seeds need, if you ever grow grass outside, you have to keep watering it, especially fun. Okay.
So.
All right, we ready?
Yes.
Okay, our next step is we need to water this. So you're going to take it to a sink, and just like I said, it might get a little dirty. So we aren't doing anything yet, but I'm going to make sure that this gets soaked. You're going to squeeze it into a shape while you're getting it all wet. Try not to keep those seeds on the bottom, so don't shake it around or anything. See, I'm kind of molding it. See, you're getting like that dirtiness on your hands a little bit when it's coming out. See, I'm shaping it more into a ball. Kind of like clay or something. Just kind of form it into a ball. And just make sure it's really nice and wet. That's what's going to get your seeds started. And then I'm going to kind of squeeze the excess water out, kind of rinse it so everything goes down to the bottom. See how I have it kind of cleaned up there? Just do a little more squeezing. And there we are. Now, what I'm going to do next, kind of rinse that off. We're going to go back to our table. All right, so now here we are. We've got this wet. Now this is where your rubber bands come in. We could cut some of this off, but let me show you something. On these, this kind of helps the water. You can fill your cup. See how I still have that on those? It kind of brings the water up into the head so it doesn't get completely dried out, so you can keep water in that cup. But this is where our little rubber bands will come into play. If you need help with this, see, I'm wrapping it around. I'm going to loop it like that. I'm going to do it a few times. Okay, there we go. Now, you can kind of see my grass seed. It might end up on this person's face. So, oh well, it'll be interesting, won't it? Because you can kind of see my grass seed. Can you see it there? It's kind of a fun project. Even if it ends up in places, you can make this a monster or something, right? It doesn't have to be a person. It could be some silly creature, right? So this is going to be where it's going to go. We could try, you might say, why aren't you using the bigger cup? Well, see, it's going to fall right into the bigger cup. That's why we're not using that one. So it looks kind of cool with like it's got a big head and a little body, right? So there we are. The next thing we want to do, just make sure it's sitting okay on your cup. This is where we do the fun stuff. Now, notice, this little guy has ears. I kind of chose to do the ears because he was going to wear glasses. This one's got a nose. They both have a nose. All you need to do, and that's where your rubber bands are also going to come into place. So watch, I'm just going to kind of pinch. See, I'm pinching it like that. I'm going to take a little rubber band, probably wrap it twice like that. This is where if you might need a helper to help you with this, if you're struggling with this, just kind of grab a little of that dirt. And there's a nose. You can kind of play around with it, make it a shape that you like. And there we go. Should we make some ears on this guy? Yeah, let's make some ears. Do the same thing on the sides. This one might end up with hair growing out of his ears. I'm just going to take one of these rubber bands and kind of twist it around twice. Make it somewhat tight. Push the ear like that. There's one ear. Kind of grab it like that. Take another rubber band. But you can do your own thing. You can make it really silly. You can make it look more realistic. And there he is. Now, this is where you can add in and use your creativity at this point. What do you want your person or creature to look like? This is where Well, let me tell you, I used glue, and it's gonna, because you're gonna be wetting this, it may come off on occasion, like my Google eyes, they're adhesive, but because you're watering it a lot, be patient with it. And sometimes when I've watered it, they come off. Just put a little glue and they go back on. So, but yeah, you might be dealing with that a little because we are dealing with something that's going to be wet from water. But if you put this on a windowsill, it's not something you should be touching a lot, except to spraying it with a water bottle. And we'll show you that before the end of this. So this is where you can get creative with some of the things that I gave you. This is where you'll need a scissors. You can cut out like a mouth. Maybe you want them to be mean or mad or happy or whatever expression you want to give it. Of course, my scissors aren't the best at cutting felt. It's good to have a good pair of scissors for that. And then I'm going to take some glue. Be very generous. Use liquid glue, like I said. Any other kind of glue, a glue stick, may not work because we're dealing with something that's actually kind of wet. So I'm going to put that right there. There he's his mouth. Maybe, I don't know, does he need like big bushy eyebrows? I think he does. Maybe a unibrow. I kind of like that idea. You know what a unibrow is, right? That's when they have one eyebrow. Let's see how well I do this. I think I need to see what I'm doing. Okay. Not perfect, but I think that's the fun of it. I'm being really generous with the glue. Look at how much I'm putting on there. Lots. And like I said, as you water, you might end up having to touch things up on occasion because we are dealing with water and the glue may not hold up. There's my eyebrow, and I'm going to put his eyes on. Here's one eye. Yeah, he looks a little grumpy with those eyebrows, doesn't he? Isn't that funny how what eyebrows can do? You know, doesn't he kind of look like the dad of this family? I think he does. So I think I'm going to give him a tie. You guys can decorate. And you know what? Be creative. If you want to use paper, if you look at our little sample, they actually used a yogurt cup for the body on that one. We just are using these little cups that I happen to get, but I'm going to cut out a little shape of a tie because he looks like he's like the dad. Maybe he's grumpy or something. He's not happy about a messy bedroom or something. Of course, you got the buttons too, so, but you don't have to use any of this stuff. It's just extra stuff, so you can do whatever you want. I don't know if that's the best tie, but I will give it a, put a little glue on here. Like I said, be generous with the glue. And there he is, our little grass head. And I think I'm going to end it with that on that one, but you can do anything you want. You can make these any way you want. Like I said, you can make it a little monster. You can turn it into what, a space alien, anything that you would like it to be. So get yours as soon as you can, because supplies will only first come, first serve. We're going to run out of these quickly, I think, because this was a lot of fun. Now, the key thing we need to do now is you have to keep this nice and wet. See these guys? See how you can tell it's dry? So what I did was I have a spray bottle, and I should write water only, because that's what this, and as you go along, see I got these guys, I made these a week ago, and as you can see, they got the little sprouts, and see what I'm doing? I'm not dunking them, because these will fall off. It's liquid glue. The water's going to make them fall off. So if something does fall off, just take a little glue and glue it back on. But see, we can water their hair, and that's the thing you got to do now. And what you can do too is you can put water in the cup, and this part will absorb the water back up into the dirt. So it's good to have water in there and spray their head every day. Go and check on it. It'll take about a week to get to this point, and after that it's going to get thicker and you can start cutting. It'll be a lot of fun. So if you want to share any of these, that would be awesome. And don't forget,